가스링크 특설 무대에서 생방송으로 보내드리고 있는 GSTL.
All right, welcome back, guys, to the GSTL. We're going to have our coach interview right now with, of course, G1, our interviewer girl, who always has the same earrings that look like, you know, they look like the Horton Hears a Who world. She's got two of those worlds on her ears. So anyways,
we just had to send a few people back home once again. So as I mentioned earlier already, every 5 minutes there's someone popping into the studio, and it's so sad. I have to tell them.
Okay, so it looks like we're not actually going to have that interview translate, but you know,
I felt really sorry for them.
Yeah, we see. The thing is, I had this debate earlier where I was like, I just feel so bad about these people coming in here, but I'm so scared that someone's gonna come in here when we're on camera, and I'm gonna be like, I'm so sorry, you have to leave, and like everyone's gonna watch me do it. But I'm a little bit frustrated that all these people have had to go home. There's been so many fans coming today. Remember, I just want to say this: if there's any other fans right now who thought about coming to the studio, don't come here. Go to Jamshil.
Come tomorrow.
And come tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow everything will be set up here.
Tomorrow will be epic as well. But today it's a little bit sad for us because there are so many foreigners coming today. It's actually kind of ridiculous. I mean, they have how many people did we already send home? Like 10 at least?
Maybe like 15.
Yeah,
there's so many groups of people coming down here to the studio, and you guys can come down here anytime where we normally have broadcasts set up for foreigners and of course Koreans to come here locally and watch. You can see our lovely screen behind us says GSL on it. We even tried to set up actually a way for people to watch today in the studio, but we couldn't because the Korean production, of course, is gone at the event, so it just couldn't happen. But
this is kind of the private,
it's just
private Calder and Wolf show.
Calder and Wolf show, man.
We could actually cast without our pants on.
We could do that.
We could. Because we are completely alone. The whole studio is...
You might have to move like slightly that way though, because otherwise some people might notice. I mean, if you're comfortable with it, it doesn't matter, but...
No, I'm good. I'm just looking at the screen if people can see how it...
Well...
You will never know.
Actually, we could already be pantsless.
Yeah.
We could actually right now have no pants on. Nobody can know. We could say anything, and nobody in this room would hear us except the people on the stream would hear us, and the people in the production room.
Yeah.
And people all over the world would hear us.
But they already made fun of us, so...
Nobody in this room can hear us, man. There's nobody here.
Hmm.
If a chair in the studio falls while we have noise-canceling headsets on, does it make a sound?
What did they put in your coffee earlier?
I'm really excited about this match.
So you feel it too?
I feel
You're like, I don't know, but there was something.
Maybe, but I'm just really excited about this match. I mean, we've got Sound up next, someone who hasn't shown himself that much, but he has shown to be a capable Terran, against Tails, who hasn't shown the best PVT results, but he's looking on fire right now.
And Sound was playing, for example, at the Home Story Cup, and he played quite well. I was really surprised that after the Home Story Cup that we didn't see him in the GSTL a little bit more often. Now, it was really weird to me.
Yeah, it's just that StarTale has such a depth of players that to pick someone like Sound probably doesn't always make sense since they have so many different other choices. They're like, well, Sound could work here, but I want to do Bomber this time, or I want to do Squirtle this time.
They have just so many Terran players.
Yeah, they have so many Terran players on their team. Our map is going to be dual site, and of course we predicted that we would have a Terran player. And I'm thinking that for this map we may see just a simple 2-racks. I feel like a 2-racks is what's coming here.
We'll find out in a few minutes. One thing that's, by the way, really sad about sending all these people away is that Lotto World is about 1 hour away with the subway, so it's not like, okay guys, listen up, you can't just get a cab and you'll be there in 15 minutes. You will catch all of the games, and they can just take a cab, but it will still take like 40 minutes, maybe 30.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know exactly how far it is. I've never gone from here to there by cab, but that's the thing I'm like telling these guys, I'm like, you might make it. Like I'm like,
you could just watch the ending ceremony.
No, I know that like
even if they take the subway, they will be able to catch a few of these.
Yeah, for sure. I feel so bad.
Korean subway is weird, by the way. If you go into a Korean subway at a normal time, it's kind of alright. So it's kind of empty. It's pretty cool, pretty decent, comfortable. And when I took my first Korean class, I had to be at university at 9 o'clock. So I went to the subway at 8. And I heard all these stories about Japan, how there are people who push other guys into the subway because it's just so cramped, and I was like, yeah, well, whatever. So I went into the subway and took the busiest line in Seoul. And guys, Koreans are nice people. They're really nice, they're friendly. But as soon as they enter a subway in the morning, they turn into monsters. Into selfish, ruthless monsters. It was incredible. These subways are so packed and they don't care. There comes a subway and the doors open, so the people just fall out of the subway. And they're like, okay, I'll wait for the next one. But they don't care. They just push in with full force, and it's really like ridiculous. So at some point, you realize that there won't be a train arriving. This is actually like half empty. You have to go in there. So you just try. You stand like this. You can't fall down or whatever. Even if there was a huge crash, there's nothing you can do. You stand like this. You're doomed. And the doors open to both sides of the subway. So at some point, you will just realize, okay, wait, I have to go out in like one stop, but the door is about 5 meters away. So what do I do? And then you look at the other Koreans and you just try to see what they do if they are in the situation. And they are ruthless. They just elbows flying everywhere, people punching and shoving. It is merciless. It is merciless.
You have such a different view of the Korean subway than me, man. I guess next time I'll tell
Try it at 8 o'clock in the morning and then talk to me again.
I've done that. Well, we're going to jump to the game. After the game, I'll tell you guys my opinion on the subway and how I deal with these situations. But let's not waste any more time. We're going to get into the game right now. And here it is. Here is our player starting for MVP. He won the first game. Can he do it again? He is.
MVP!
MVP Tails.
He played so well in the first game.
Yeah,
his build was incredible. It was really, really well executed. And now we have his opponent. To the bottom left in the blue color, we have StarTale.
Started! Sounded!
Sounded well at the Home Story Cup. Now he's up against Tails. We haven't seen him all that much, which also, as Wolf already explains, is part of the... well, the reason is kind of that we have so many good Terran players in the StarTale roster. It's just incredible how many good Terran players are in their team. And now we have Dual Side, a map that's known to be in favor of Terran. There are a lot of builds that you can execute. You can get really, really aggressive. Try to just annihilate the Protoss player after he expanded. And you're kind of forced to expand as a Protoss here. Yeah. There's just no choice.
The even scarier thing is that if the game goes longer, it's very difficult as a Protoss to take a third base here. The third base is so open to Marauder run-bys. I know that sounds weird to say, a Marauder run-by, but that can happen. You can have that big stemmed Marine Marauder ball just run in and attack. You can have just a few Marauders go in and target down the Nexus while there's a drop in the main. Third base is so far away and exposed. It's just difficult to take a third base as a Protoss here, so it's a tough map in general as the game goes longer. Now, our Terran player here is taking gas. Sound is likely to do some sort of factory tech build. This is the most common build that you see on this map. And one thing to note is that, man, Tails, he is being innovative again. No gas. No gas, so probably double gas, I think. Again, just like he did the game before. But so far, no gases. He may just go for a really fast Nexus with a late gas. His gas is being taken now at 18. And I'm starting to really see what you were talking about with Naniwa earlier, calling this guy, you know, the smartest Protoss he's ever watched. He's actually going to go for a 18 Nexus here. An 18 Nexus with delayed gas. And his Cybernetics core timing is actually going to be right on time. Pretty perfect timing here. The only thing he's missing is the gas. This type of expansion is fairly risky, but with this timing that I've actually never seen before, I think this could work.
Wolfjaw
I'm actually getting excited, man.
Wolfjaw just dropped. He's like watching the screen and he's like completely baffled. You can see how stunned he is now.
I'm actually really excited to see this build unfold. Now, our Terran player is about to make a command center here. There's the command center. He's going to do a reactor expand. He's pulled SCVs out of gas after making the reactor, so this is a pretty common build, but he's going to be angry that he made his command center on the high ground now because he has no ability to change his build after he sees the Nexus. It's too late, and he doesn't really have the ability to pressure all too much because his first Marine is out, but he only has one. He made the reactor so quickly. He doesn't have the Marine count he's going to need to really do pressure. And so this build has really worked out in the favor of Tails. Things are looking good for MVP more and more by the second.
Yeah, it's a really, really decent build that we've seen, and completely out of the ordinary when we compare it to the builds that usually unfold on a dual side. StarTale Sound's first factory is coming up here.
Yep, he's taking a second gas as well here. And this is a type of build where you see a reactor Marine into expand with a factory to follow up. usually means he's going to do what some people refer to as a siege expand, where you get siege tanks and help push it out so that you're less vulnerable to sentry timing attacks, because with only Marines, if your opponent does a heavy gateway timing attack, even just 4 gateways, which we do see 3 gates on the way right now for Tails, if you have this sentry heavy timing attack without any siege tanks, it's very difficult to defend, or without Marauders. Either way, it's just very difficult to defend. Even with those units, the key is no stim. He has no stim, so we need some sort of powerful, heavy-hitting unit. That's why the Tech Lab is on the way for the factory, and Tails is going to move out and put some 4-gate pressure on here.
Yeah, which is really interesting with the strategy that he chose so far. So he is going to get aggressive after expanding, and this timing will work very well as the siege tanks are not in position
There's not
just
even
yet.
a bunker, man.
And he doesn't have the siege mode, so he will be able to delay this expansion a little bit further, might even be able to do a lot of damage here.
Yeah, the SCV does not see the pylon, nor does he see the other units coming across. The warp gates are done. He spent all of his chrono boost on warp gate, by the way, back at home. And the Marines are out. This is terrible. The Marines are totally out of position. He's going to lose almost all of these. The faster, more firepower of the Stalkers. He's going to have to repair that siege tank right away. And Parting is doing so much, or excuse me, Tails. I keep saying Parting. Tails looking so good here.
And he was so lucky that the sentry was not in position. Just imagine if he could have force fielded the ramp before the Marines would have walked back into the main base. He would have lost every single one of them.
And even though he has not lost the game here and has not died, he has done so much damage. Even though he didn't kill all the Marines, he didn't kill the siege tank, he's kept his opponent in his base while his Nexus has been up for so long. It's been up so long, it's already in the textbooks of history, man. It's in Chapter 2, okay? The Nexus was made. We're gonna see.
They definitely put something into their coffee.
The siege tank is up now, and so Parting, I don't know why I keep saying Parting, but Tails is going to have to retreat without taking very much damage, but he's poked a little bit at the bunker, and his Robo is finished. Will we see him go for quick Colossus tech here? I don't think so, but it's possible that he goes for it. Actually, there it is. Robotic Support Bay on the way here. If he gets very quick range, he'll be able to put some pressure on his opponent. Double factories on the way. We are going to see super unique play here. This actually is something that Koreans do a lot in this matchup on the Korean server right now, on the ladder. We'll see how it plays out in this particular game. Blue Flame
coming up, and we already have the Robotics Bay as mentioned, so this is a very interesting strategy by Tails, who just put a lot of pressure onto his opponent, delayed the expansion by quite a bit, and this also reflects in the Harvest account. With 44 to 30, Tails is now far ahead with his economy, and in just such a great position. He can transition out of the 4-gate pressure that he started. He's going for the Colossi player, already getting the first few Immortals though, so he will also be safe against pushes at this time. And I have to say that Tails is just doing so well. He put on pressure, he got the early expansion.
Now he's safely scouting.
Yeah, exactly.
His pressure also scouted his opponent's composition. Now he's going to follow up with this Observer. He's going to be able to see the additional factories, and since there are no Marines here to scan and kill this Observer, the Observer should reach the location where he wants to. He's going to try to scan and kill it here, but it's already too late. He's seen the factories, and great scouting by Tails here, man. This is looking scary and scary. Now, by the way, at those 2 factories, it's double reactors. He's going to be making 4 Hellions at a time with Blue Flame. This is something that you very rarely see. The composition I was talking about that you see on the Korean server a lot is not this one. It's not with this many Hellions. It's usually just with Siege Tanks, Marines, and then later on Ghosts often.
What really impresses me is that usually on dual side we see a Terran player dominating and just putting pressure on all the time. This time Tails was able to just completely reverse the roles, but StarTale Sound is moving out now with his units, with his siege tanks, and of course also the Marines, and is getting all these Hellions that Wolf just spoke about. The Blue Flame Hellion upgrade is done now. So will Tails be ready? He has not just yet the External Thermal Lance upgrade ready for the first Colossi, but he's getting more and more gate weights now. So he has a few Immortals. He will probably have the first Colossus as well. Yeah. That's the first one.
He's already got the first one, and range is almost done, man. I think he holds this really easily because these Marines are completely unupgraded. He's actually going to get caught here with his Marines way too far forward, and because Tails didn't react immediately, he's actually going to be able to get away. We're going to probably have a Hellion run by, at least we should. He's now sieging up his tanks, and Tails may walk into a trap if he's not careful. He's actually going to commit to this. This is so weird by Tails.
I don't really understand why he's committing.
I don't like this. He's losing way too many units, and so many units. Now the Hellions can chase, killing some more of those Zealots.
And he just lost his Immortal, so...
And his first Colossus was lost, man. He has lost so much here.
I don't know why he was attacking into this, because there was no need to attack. Just forcing his opponent back was already enough, and attacking into 6 sieged up tanks is never a good idea.
I think when he saw the engagement, he was like, there's so many tanks here, if I retreat, I'm going to lose a lot of units, so I might as well fight. But in this case, that was not the best choice. Sometimes that is, though. The Forge has begun to spin, +1 is on the way, and so is Blink.
I really love that we have Sound with a mech play here, but Tails, he has been ready so far. He made a little bit of a mistake in the last engagement. I think he kind of misjudged the situation. Maybe he was macroing it up in his main base when he just suddenly realized that there were so many tanks. But at this point, he already gets decent upgrades. He is starting the +2 attack upgrade for his units. And as we mentioned earlier, he has the economy to completely back it up. He still has a little bit of lead in the harvest account, but obviously with the 2 mules, StarTale Sound now has a very good income and is starting the first few upgrades. We have Vikings, and this army is really
It's
scary.
really strong, especially because he lost that first Colossus. His Colossus count is not where it needs to be to fight this army straight up. He does have Blink, but he does not have Charge, and he does not have very many Zealots. He only has 8 Zealots. He's going to make a 3rd Nexus at the worst possible time here. I think this is probably the first real bad decision as far as builds go that Tails has made.
And so many people were just saying over and over again that mech does not really work against Protoss, but this army is so scary.
It is so scary indeed, Kaldor.
Just look at this.
Oh, he's going to have to engage while his tank is sieging up. The Colossi doing a ton of damage, but to the Hellions, not really the Marines and not the siege tanks. And this army of Tails is falling so quickly. The Vikings have there's no answer.
Look at Sound here. He takes down everything. Those siege tanks annihilate the Stalkers. We have the Vikings taking down 1 Colossus at a time, and all these SCVs just repairing. Even a few Marines from the early game still backing up this army.
Yeah, they're getting so low on hit points. He's actually overextended himself here a little bit. And this is something that's really going to help Tails out. This Colossus is going to come out to die.
But he's just sieging forward with few tanks at a time.
There's so many tanks. They're the real problem.
Way too many of them.
Way too many.
7 in total.
And 95 to 52 supply. Sound takes game 2 on dual site, putting the score tied at 1-1.
Really weird game that we just saw. We had MVP Tails with an awesome build, with a really, really nice expansion that was safe at the same time. He was able to put a little bit of 4-gate pressure onto his opponent. And Sound just was in a position where it was like, okay, this is weird. This is not how it was supposed to work. But he goes for a mech build, which kind of nobody expects. And suddenly he is crossing the distance between the 2 bases on dual side. A very small map with a very, very short push distance. And he just pushes out with all these siege tanks, with the Blue Flame Hellions, has a ton of SCVs in order to repair, and the Vikings to counter the Colossi. An awesome job here.
That's Sase, that's Naniwa's with him, and who is going to be the next player for MVP? Only time will tell. I wonder who it's going to be. I wonder if his hairstyle will be as cool as Tails. Actually, I don't wonder that, because I know that it can't be, because that is super cool hairstyle that Tails had, man. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw.
You saw that?
I actually talked to Naniwa about hairstyles just recently.
Oh, really? What did you guys discuss?
Well, we basically discussed that his hairstyle right now is awful and that he needs to get a haircut.
You know,
but it's kind of hard for him to get one.
I think
as a foreigner in Korea, you know.
Well, I know a good place. Actually,
you do?
I can show you later.
Okay,
I can show him
we
too.
should recommend him a good place.
I
actually, he was like, yeah, I really want to get another hairstyle right now. I need a haircut. But what can I do? I don't speak Korean, and if I just tell them to shorten it or whatever, they will probably just destroy it. So
I can take him. I will take him.
I will take
Naniwa
Why
to get a
did
haircut.
I not come up with this? You are the first person that should have crossed my mind on this.
I actually know a really good haircut place. I can take him. I took Karn recently. Karn always complained because he has a very unique hairstyle. Most Koreans don't have that short curly hair that he has. So he was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And I said, look, I know a place. I've never taken someone like you to this place before, but I bet
they're really good.
They're really good.
You think they could do something with my hair?
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely,
you think?
Dude. They can do anything.
Awesome. What do you think, guys?
All right, now we're really gonna pick the player.
Yes, and the map is Calm Before the Storm.
Oh, so we're gonna have probably a Protoss here. Who is it? Oh, it is Finale. I recognize that face. I'm Facebook friends with this guy. He's super friendly, and he is just always shown great games. And man, they're like, Sound, it's gonna be okay. Like, I know it's Finale, but just calm down. Everything will be fine. And great choice for Finale here. Great map choice. Calm Before the Storm, of course, still in the map pool for Team League. Great to use Protoss against Terran here. You can Nexus first for free, basically, on this map in any matchup, but especially versus Terran. It's a great matchup for Protoss. Look at that huge, I guess that's the screen, like behind? No, that's, I was looking at your screen kind of from a weird angle. I was like, oh my god, the whole wall is a screen, but actually it's just a really cool setup where they see, you see things through him. He's kind of like this translucent being that we have in front of the audience there. I wish I were there. I hope our friends that we sent away to the studio down there were able to make it safely. Maybe we'll see them in the crowd.
This arena just looks really, really incredible.
Yeah, it really does, and I'm sure everyone down there is really enjoying it. We've used this studio before for several kind of special matches, and this is one of those. What build we see from Tails? I think a Nexus First. Anything other than Nexus First might be a little bit absurd. I might be like, what? What are you doing?
How you always talk about Crossfire.
Yeah.
That you don't like the map.
And Terrans would talk about this map in the same way against Protoss, I would say.
This is the map that I really loathe.
Me too, actually. I actually dislike this map.
You can't have two.
I can have two.
No,
I can have two. I actually have three, man. I have three. The one I hate most.
Now you're getting too greedy.
The one I hate most.
No, I'm not putting up with this.
You're not gonna put up with it?
No. You can't have three. I mean, you can't even have two. You have one. I have one.
Okay. Well, you can have this one, but I will tell you that I share your opinion on this. Maybe I don't hate it as much as you. Like, I'll give you that. But this
I am a Zerg, so
yeah, this map is really hard for Zergs and Terrans. Great map for Protoss. I would actually argue as well, overpowered for Protoss, but it's a great map to use in Team League when you want to send a Protoss player out against a Terran, which is what we have here. And the game is loading now, so we're going to see
I'm curious, though, which would be a third?
My third one is dual site. I don't really like that map that much.
Yeah, fair point.
It's alright. For Hall Compound, like, I don't like that much, but it's okay. I won't give it my fourth one, but it's okay.
We have the game coming up, guys. The next match is gonna be Sound against Finale on Calm Before the Storm, another Terran versus Protoss. The match is gonna start in a few seconds. I think we're ready.